watching. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to make kind of my version of a fajita. I'm going to make some flatbread. Now this is a 30-minute meal. Now to make the flatbread is a little longer because you have to let it rest for about 20-30 minutes or longer. But you could prep that earlier, and then to throw everything else together is really, really, really simple. I did my bangs, cut them, and I cut my hair about 5-6 inches too, but it feels great. It's up to about the bra strap now, and it was down to my waist or past my waist, but it was just horrible. I needed it done so bad. So anyways, follow along. This is part of my weight loss journey dinners that I've been trying to make. Very, very healthy, low calorie. Now the flatbread has avocado, so that's a little higher in calories. I'm gonna half the recipe. Usually makes about 10 to maybe 11 or 12, depending on the size you make them, but I'm gonna half it because I don't need all that in my house. So I'll probably end up making 4 or 5, but that's okay. They last for about a week or two in the fridge too. They don't go bad, so you could use them with a bunch of raw vegetables and wrap them up for lunch. I might make a little bit of goat yogurt with some lime and maybe some chives in it to drizzle on the top too. We'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna get prepping now. You guys can watch. I hope you guys are watching my weight loss journey on Sundays. I post every Sunday my results, and I'm going into week 3 right now. So I try to stay right on top of that for Sundays. And I'm trying to post between, say, 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning with my results every week. I'm trying to lose 25 pounds. I call it the saucer diet. I'm eating everything off a saucer, but I'm eating really, really, really healthy. So if you want to watch that, please like and subscribe, and you can see me on Sundays. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'm going to prep dinner now. I have a bunch of mushrooms I got to use up. I'm not even going to use half of this, but what I don't use, I'm going to probably have to discard because I have too many of them, and they're starting to turn. I already picked through them and picked the best out. They're still fine. I'm going to use a slice of red pepper. They're not hot, they're just regular red peppers. And I'm kind of making like a steak fajita. Now, I am making a flatbread out of avocado, and that's what's high in calories. But it makes about 5, because I'm halving the recipe tonight, because I don't need 10. It stores very well in the fridge, but I still don't need to have that many. So I'll probably eat 1.5 tonight. I don't know yet. I'm very hungry. I had a very light lunch today. I just ate 1 cracker with some peanut butter on it. I wasn't really feeling a million times well. I just a little bit. I'm not sick. I have a disease that's not really worth talking about. It's a whole nother story. So I was just feeling a little under the weather, not to sit here and air my laundry. So I just cut up some green onions instead of a regular cooking onion. And I'm cutting up 1 clove of garlic here. And I won't even use the whole clove because I'll use the other half for the bread. A little bit of ginger, just trying to give it some flavor, right? Because I'm not adding really anything. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of oil for this whole stir fry. I'm using some fresh thyme from my garden. A little piece of red pepper, and then I'm going to cut up a 4-ounce piece of steak that's very thin. It's a ribeye steak, but I marinated it most of the day in some Worcestershire sauce, and that's it, nothing else. Just a couple splashes, and I just left it in a plastic bag for the whole day. Now I'm going to just reserve this for my stir fry, so I'm going to add those vegetables and the mushroom. Now that's nothing in calories. Again, my calorie intake is definitely going to be from making the flatbreads, and the steak's about 300 calories. I think it's 310 for that size. I weighed it already today. It is just under 4 ounces, so we might as well just call it 4. I've been trying to eat 4 to 6 ounces at a time, and that's it of meat. I'm just rubbing some Montreal steak spice on here, just to give it a little more flavor. I've been finding I've been eating a lot of things with flavor in it lately. I've been using a lot of onions and cilantro and things like that. Now, again, I'll use lemon or lime and squirt that on top as well for a little bit of liquid, because I need my liquids because I'm not using oils, right? Now, I don't like raw meat, so I'll be cooking this a little, probably more well to the well side than most people will cook. I'm just cutting off any of the fat. Well, I'll leave a little bit of it for it to render in the pan, but I'm going to cut off most of that fat. I just don't need it. Again, I'm looking at everything as a calorie, and if I can have it in somewhere else, I'd rather that. So I've done the math. This whole dinner to serve 5 people is about 15 or 1,600 calories, including the steak, the avocado, and the flour that I'm going to use for the flatbreads. So if you divide that into five fajitas, that's pretty good, right? It's really nothing when you think about it that way. So it's under 300 calories a dinner. So if I eat 1.5 or 2, I'm still under 500 calories for a dinner. That's very, very good. Am I doing math right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I'm doing it right. So it's about 300 calories a serving. It'd be 600 calories if I ate 2. I highly doubt that I'll be able to eat 2 though. Okay, so I'm just going to reserve all this and go back in to make my flatbread. So like I said, the dinner itself and the prep is 5 minutes, but to make the flatbread is really, to cook it is only about the same amount of time to stir fry your vegetables and meat. It's just that you have to let it rest for a little bit. But still, if you make these in advance, the dinner's well under 30-minute meal. And you have to love that. So on Sunday, you could make up a whole batch and use 3 avocados instead of 1.5 like I'm going to use, and make 10 or 12 of them and keep them in the fridge for easy dinner. You could add roasted vegetables to it or whatever you want to it. They're actually very lovely to eat. And it's just better than eating all the corn flour and all that, right? Just trying to think of healthy fats. And as much as avocados are good for you, they do have high calories, right? 200 to 300 calories per avocado is a lot of calories. And I can eat a whole avocado no problem, So I'm just going to scoop this out. Like I said, I'm using 1.5 avocados. And if I was in the Dominican, I'd probably only use 1 avocado because their avocados there are absolutely huge. It would take 3 of our avocados to make 1 of theirs. Their avocados are beautiful because you can eat a half of one stuffed with like tuna or something in it and you're full, right? Like they're one of the best avocados I've ever seen. For size-wise. The flavor's good too. I love avocados. Not everyone does. I find they're nice and creamy. You can make chocolate pudding with them. There's so much you can do with an avocado. Now, my bread, all my bread's calling for is avocado. If you're making 10 to 12 flatbreads, you definitely need 3 avocados that are this size. And then you would use probably about 2 cups of flour. I'm going to use 1 cup of flour, and I'm going to have about another 1/4 cup reserved because I'm going to sprinkle my board and my board and my rolling pin for when I roll it out. Now this is best if it rests for at least a half an hour. So I'm just going to go and chop all this up and make it really, like paste. So that's 1.5 avocados in the bowl. A little pinch of salt, that's it. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, and just a couple flakes of chili peppers just because I like them. That's it. That's all I'm adding in there. You don't have to add the chili peppers, but it gives it a little kick, right? And I'm going to add fresh chives to it. Again, looking for flavor in any way that I can get it. Avocados don't have huge flavor, so just add to them, right? Or anything that doesn't have flavor. Just add some herbs and spices to it. Herbs and spices really have no calories, so, I don't need any oil to fry these when I do fry them because the oil from the avocado. Now, I brush what's left over on the brush from using it for frying my stir fry. I'll brush over the top of the bread just to make it nice. They're very pliable. So they will turn into, a fajita or a wrap very, very, very easy. And like I said, they do store beautifully. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of garlic in there because I had a half of one left over, remember. Anything for flavor. And I'll squeeze some lime in because avocados have a tendency of going brown very fast. So, and this is going to sit for about a half an hour. Okay. just squeezing lime in. And you know, I love my lemon and my lime. I like my citrus and everything. But it does stop it from turning for sure. So just mix all that together. Very basic to make, right? And then I'm going to add about a cup of flour to this. If I need a little bit more, I will use it. But remember, I will flour my board and flour my rolling pin. So that'll add an extra little bit of flour there too. So I'm going to use a whole wheat flour. You could use an almond flour. You could use any flour you wanted to. I'm just using what I have in my cupboard, right? So now it's all mushed up and ready to go. The lime will cut it a little bit from turning brown. So I already measured out my cup and a bit of flour. I'm reserving some because I'm going to just stir it a little bit and at a time. And see how much I need. I might not even need the full cup, right? But I'm going to think because the avocado is very, very moist. I believe I'm going to need the whole cup for this. But it does come together pretty well. I'm going to use my hand here in a minute, just because I can make it come together better, right? Now, again, there's not a lot of flavor in flour and avocado, but that's why you add your turmeric and your cumin, a little bit of garlic, cilantro, chives, whatever you can think of, just add it into it. It all cooks up really, really well. You could make this well in advance too, but I'm just making it all together today. I probably think I'll get about five out of this, not 6. Just by the size of the avocados, right? So just knead it all together. And when it starts coming off the sides of the bowl, that's when you know that you're pretty much there. Then you just need to cover it with a piece of plastic and let it rest. Get that flour all mixed in. Pretty basic. No baking soda, no baking powder, nothing like that. So a very, very healthy flatbread. There you go. Couple more kneads and I'm good to go. It's all coming off the sides of the bowls now. So now I just got to make sure the flour is blended in. There we go. It's just about there. Would you guys make a flatbread like this? It's so easy. It's just healthier than buying. You don't know what's in stuff when you buy it, right? Like this way, it's all kind of organic. You could, like I said, you could use an almond flour or anything, but I find almond flour very heavy. So I'm just going to cover this with the sheet of plastic and let it rest. Now I'm using a big teaspoonful of goat yogurt and some chives. I'm going to make a drizzle for the top of it. But you got to remember, this can cover like almost 5. This will cover 5. It's just like a white sauce to put over top of everything that I'm doing. So I'll just mix that together. I'll add a little bit of lime juice to that as well, and that'll make it runny. So with this recipe, I'll end up using a whole lime. A little bit in there, a little bit on the avocado, and I'll definitely squeeze the other half over my stir fry when I'm making it, because I'll probably need some liquids in there. A teaspoon of olive oil isn't very much when you're used to cooking with a lot more than that, right? But it's all good. It's just cooking healthier. Those are the extra fats that we just don't need. Okay, I let it rest about 30 minutes. And now I'm going to cut this into, I believe I'm going to get 5 pieces. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like that to me. Make a little bit of a log. And roll it. Keep the flour close by so you can dip your hands in it. So this is 1.5 avocados and about a cup and a little bit of flour. And a few herbs and spices. Yeah, it's going to make 5. But that's fine. I'm really hungry. I might even eat 2 of them tonight, but we'll see. One's a little bit bigger than the other, so I'll add it to that. And then I'm just going to roll these out. Make a ball. Put some flour on your table. I'm doing it on a piece of parchment paper. If I had a piece of marble, it would be great, because it's good to roll anything like this that has gluten in it. You don't have to have it with gluten with flour. Like I said, you can make it with a different flour. But this one happens to have it. It rolls better on like a cold surface than it does on I have a cheap countertop, an Arbor Right countertop. So yes, I got 5 of them. So I'm just dusting my parchment paper with a little bit of flour, and I'll put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin. If I had a smaller rolling pin, it would be better, but I don't. So just roll it a bit, turn it, flip it over too, until you can make a round out of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not store-bought, and we're not being spit out of a factory, so just make it as round as possible. And I have a little pan that's like for pancakes or flatbreads or anything like that. Rotis, tortillas, all that kind of stuff. I have a little pan that I can use for this. So there's my first round. Now it's not perfectly round, but I'll fix the corner. Just push some of that avocado and flour up there. And I'm going to do this 5 times. I'm sure you don't want to watch me do this 5 times, but... So I'll turn the camera off, and I'll come back when I have all 5 of them done, which will take me a couple minutes. Okay, guys? So stay by, and if you have a minute, please like and subscribe. Thanks for following. So I'm going to heat up my pan, throw my mushrooms in. I'm not using all of them. I used 1 teaspoon of oil, and I reserved a little bit on the brush for me to butter my top of my... or put oil on top of the flatbreads that I'm making. So I'm just going to brown this up. There's my little flat pan that I'm going to use for the bread. I can do it at the same time. So if you count prep time for prepping the vegetables and the meat, that's about 5-6 minutes. And then to cook it is probably about another 15 minutes. So really it's about a 20-minute meal if you X the fajitas. You can buy the fajitas yourself, or you can make them like me, and you can make them in advance, like I said. I'm just gone out to get, I'm always forgetting something. That's my pantry that I walked out to. I forgot my flipper. So it's going to bubble a little bit. You can just push the bubbles down so that you're cooking everything really well. I'll just brown off these for a minute. Add in my green onion, my red pepper, my ginger, and I'm going to give it the olive oil. What's left in that little dish in the olive oil, I can reserve to butter the tops of the breads. See, because you don't need much at all. I'm definitely going to have to squeeze some lime in here because it's absorbing the teaspoon of olive oil very fast. But I'm just going to throw my steak in the same pan. I don't see any reason why not. I'm just going to drizzle the rest of that in. I'm trying to reserve a little bit for the flatbread. See how it looks? Now, this has a little bit of cilantro, green onions, ginger, mushrooms, red peppers, and garlic. That's it. That's all. So it's going to cook quite fast. I have it on medium-high heat. That's cooking very fast. There we go. I'm going to add my steak in now. I'm going to drizzle the rest of that olive oil in there. And that's my cut up steak. Now, if you like your steak on the rarer side, this is very fast, but I like mine a little more well done. I'm not a huge beef girl. I do enjoy a steak at my girlfriend Rose's because her husband makes an amazing steak on the grill. So there's my first one done. I'm just going to use that brush that I used for my olive oil. And my olive oil that I'm using is a chili olive oil. So again, adding more flavor. I have my second flatbread on. They don't take long to cook. Nor will the stir fry. Because it's cut up so thin. This is a very, very, very nice meal. It could be really, really nice if you made fresh salsa for the top too, but I made a little bit of that goat yogurt and some chives to drizzle over the top. It's all coming together. I have to check my bread here. So there's no oil on that pan whatsoever. There we go. That's all I'm doing is brushing using the leftover oil from the stir fry. And that's it. That's all. She's just about done. So I'm going to plate this up, and I'll show you everything when it's done. Throw one more of, squeeze some lime on. I'll throw one more flatbread on the grill. I have 3 more to fry up. It's nice that they don't take any oil though, right? There's my 3rd one. Oops, I guess it got a little stuck. Once that's on there, don't move it until it's cooked on that side. Don't flip it or anything. Now, they're green, so people probably think, oh, green, but that's just because of the avocado. Now, this I am cooking on pretty high heat. I think I have it on 7 or something, maybe 8. I don't got much olive oil left on that little brush. There we go. This gives it a little bit of a sheen, right? I have my meat turned off now. Okay, so this, if I eat both of these, they look pretty big. I don't think I'm going to be able to. That's about 600 calories. I believe I'll get through one no problem. And we'll see. That's it. That's all. She looks good, right? So that would serve 3. There's 3 left over that I can refrigerate. And there you go. I only ate 1.5. I'm full. Thanks for watching.